All right, we got a bunch of people on here. By the way, strap in and put your seatbelts on. Keep your hands and arms in the bus at all times. And here we go. So ideas worth spreading. Ideas worth spreading. So I spent some time last night going through what I'm about to present to you because it's been a while since I've done a podcast, and I want to make sure that we're coming to you with this this Google Hangout that's recorded via Zoom with something of value. So here we go. Okay. Let me see here. Oops, I gotta look at that. Oops. All right. So I want to talk about 5 simple areas of our lives we need to focus on. You know, I try to minimize this as much as possible because a lot of times you'll hear different speakers or people talk on this topic and they'll have 7 areas. 10 areas, 11, 12 areas. I think for me personally, it's too much. And I think that if you take a look at these 5 areas, any of these areas that you don't think are covered in them, if you really went deep on your thoughts, they would be covered in these areas. Okay, so always we got to start off with a quote before we get going here. So here's our quote. And here's a question I have for you, and it's a rhetorical one, so no one needs to chime in and answer. But what kind of leader are you? Really think about that. What kind of leader are you? And are you a good leader? And write that word down, good leader, because it's going to be good leader versus great leader. A good leader teaches you how to do your job well. You know, that's more like kind of like a manager, maybe not even a leader, but more of a manager. So a good leader teaches you how to do your job well. You know, they're like a coach or, you know, this, and they're just showing you the basic nuts and bolts. And what's okay about that, what's average about that is you can get that information anywhere. You know, you actually even don't need a good leader to teach you to do your job well. You can go on YouTube and, you know, there's 15, 20 videos on whatever it is that you want to learn how to do. Okay? A great leader, write this down. So good leader versus great leader. You want to be a great leader. And what is a great leader? Well, I'm glad you asked. A great leader changes your life. They come into your life and they pour into you and they have an impact on you, not only in your job, but in your personal life and as well as your business life, because we are not just human beings that show up to the workplace and then there's this big dividing wall between that and our personal lives. No, it's all intermixed. Okay? And that's from Dave Ramsey. Somebody tell me who Dave Ramsey is. Any volunteers?
Financial guru who helps people make better financial choices in their lives. Very spiritual.
Yeah. So he's a kind of a Christian-based financial planner, but he also has this thing called Entre Leadership Summit, which is once a year. It's about 3 to 5 grand to attend. And the thing sells out. About 2,500 people show up. And now he's going more into what he's calling Ramsey Solutions. And he's bringing in different speakers to mastermind once a year to really teach you not only, and this is what he's realized, there's more areas of our life than the financial part. We need to learn, you know, how to run a good business. Okay. So who are you leading? That's my question to you. So you don't have, you know, I'm not speaking to just Adrian and myself leading a team, but I'm talking to you individually. And let's see here, Alicia, who in your life are you leading?
I'm leading my children and my grandchildren, friends that I'm connected to when we meet on a weekly basis for conversation.
But I had to turn my speakers up. But who's the specific person you're leading right now in your life?
My son Jesse.
Yeah, there's one. Okay, and then Brooks, are you leading anyone?
Let's see. My wife leads me, so that would take her out.
Okay. Your follower.
So, well, I'm filling the shoes of a you know, let's call it a captain of a ship, so to speak.
Yeah.
My sales director position. Leadership qualities have to be deployed, employed, and implemented in that role. Yes.
Okay. Well, let me, and this is a rhetorical question to everybody, and your silence will tell me that you agree with me. Is everybody on this Google on this Zoom recording leading someone in your life? Yes. The answer is yes or yes. Everyone is leading somebody. So this is relevant information for all of you, not just if one day you're going to run a team or lead somebody. We're all leading people every day. Okay? So to be a great leader, you first must role model. And to bring that point home, I'm going to ask you guys a question. You know, what does that mean? And somebody chime in and tell me what you think. Andrea, if you can hear me, do people do what you say or what you do? And tell me, and Andrea, tell me what you think that means.
I heard the phrase more is taught than taught. So when the first kind of the idea, so I'm more likely to do what they see you do than what they hear you say.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys could hear, but thank you, Andrea, for that. She was sounding almost like the Charlie Brown teacher, but that's okay. Because I think she's on her phone. Jody, you're a leader. You do a lot of the teaching and seminars, and you spend a lot of money on personal growth. What does this mean? Do people do what we say or do what we do?
Well, they definitely do what we do because that's what they see, especially, you know, one of my favorite examples would be talking, you know, a very high maintenance client. If you're not, I try not to exemplify negativity towards the client because I did notice that if I did cave in or actually make that small mistake of being like, oh my gosh, this client is so annoying. A little bit later, I did notice the team saying it.
Yes.
Not necessarily about the same client, but saying something negative, you know, and so I stopped that real quick. Like, we just don't talk negative about our clients. We appreciate them. We're grateful for them.
Yeah, so that's a perfect example. You as a leader can be telling everybody in the team, you can have it at your team meetings. We must act always in a positive and professional manner, always. But what overpowers that verbal instruction is actually visually what we're doing. It's like telling your kids you're smoking a cigarette and you're telling them, you know, don't smoke cigarettes, they cause cancer. Puff, puff, puff. Okay? Everybody does, what's always going to be more overpowering is what you do versus what you say. And what's actually going to even be more empowering than do and say is when they both line up. So that's why, here's the question. What are you role modeling to the people you're leading in your life? And I'm going to repeat that because repetition lends emphasis. What are you role modeling to the people you're leading in your life? And let's go through these 5 areas of our lives. So the first one, and I try to get creative with them, they're all going to start with the letter M. So the first one is mind. And my question to you, and I want to have somebody give us some examples of how we affect our mindset here. Damien, what's a way that we can affect our mindset? And by the way, it can be positive or negative. Just give me an example, Damien.
Consistent listening to podcasts every day.
Listening to podcasts. Howard, what's another one? I came up with like 10 off the top of my head. Howard, what's another way we affect our mindset?
Exercise.
Exercise, okay. And then John, what's another way? John, on Maui, what's another way that we affect our mindset, good or bad?
First 10 minutes after we wake up, what we immediately put ourselves to.
Yeah.
Tasks that we immediately line up for ourselves.
What's the tone we're setting for the rest of our day? So here's my examples that I came up with super quick. And if I, you know what, I'm going to go through this list, and if somebody's got something that's not on my list, share it with us. Morning affirmations, listening to podcasts, being around positive people, not complaining, going to mega camp, going to other types of seminars for improvement, not watching the news, cutting the news out of your life because it's all negative, cutting negative people out of your life. Does anybody have anything else that I haven't mentioned on my list? Because there's more, but somebody real quick. Anything else?
Meditation.
Meditation, that's a great one. Okay, let's move on to the next area. Mouth. And it's mouth, yes. And more importantly, What should we be eating? What are we putting in our mouth? So again, what are the things that we can do that affect our physiology? And by the way, they have done studies, and it's shown that what you eat not only affects your biology, but it also affects your psychology. Somebody tell me what I mean by that. It not only affects your biology, but it affects your psychology. Somebody tell me what I mean by that.
Like when you eat
your
McDonald's.
Sugar is a good example.
Sugar is a good example. You get a sugar high. Who's heard that phrase before? Sugar high. If you had 9 beers, in addition to all the calories and it getting you fat, will it affect your psychology? Alcohol is actually a depressant. So this is what you should need what you need to avoid. When you're feeling bummed out, the answer to your life's problems is not in the bottom of a bottle, wine or beer. Okay, you actually should avoid those things and do things that get those. So let's talk more about, give me some examples of what we can put in our mouth that makes our lives better, and or not put in our mouths, or do it in moderation. Somebody give me, let's see here. Miranda, what can we put in our mouths to make us be better?
Fruits and vegetables.
Fruits and vegetables. We are guilty of not having enough fruits and vegetables. All right, Kelly, what else can we put in our mouths to make us feel better? Kelly, actually, Kelly, can what you eat or not eat be a life or death situation for you?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. Critically important what you put in your mouth. So what's important that you put in your mouth or don't put in your mouth? Kelly.
What's important and what's not important to put in my mouth?
Yeah, pick one. What should you be putting in it and what should you not be putting in it? Well, obviously, you
Well,
don't
I always say vegetables.
vegetables, yes. Blaze, another example. What should we be putting more in our mouths or less in our mouths to make us feel to be better?
We should drink more water and less other liquids.
Yeah, you know, Gatorade has similar chemicals to what's in radiator fluid. I don't know if you guys know that. You're drinking it to get the electrolytes, but I would say 9 times out of 10, studies have proven you're better off just drinking plain old water, because it's not about what you drink. It's the fact, the bigger challenge is that we don't drink enough water per day. I don't know what the statistics are, but how many cups of water should we drink in a day?
600 ounces. Yeah, or
6
eight.
7 big ones.
7 big ones, 6 to 8. And then if it's 10 of them,
Half your body weight in water.
half your body weight in water. Okay.
Or ounces. In ounces. Not 100 pounds of water.
I'm gonna drink 50 pounds of water today. Let's see, 8 gallons. A pound of water is 8. A gallon is 8 pounds of water. So somebody do the math. So I need to go on Amazon and order as soon as possible a Stadium Buddy if I'm going to be doing that.
And a calendar. Sorry.
So basically, yeah, what they recommend is reducing or eliminating sugar. Processed sugar has the same addictive capabilities of crack cocaine. That's why we say when somebody brings in the cake to the office, they're like, oh, somebody brought in some crack. And Jeff Free had the best example. How much sugar should I allow in my life? And the answer is, well, how much cocaine should you have in your life? It's an extreme answer, but he was making a point. Okay, supplements, if you're not doing that, it's always here or there with the supplements. But you know, a lot of times in our fast-paced life, we don't spend, you know, we don't have enough time or money to go get all the good stuff that we need, or nutrients. When you're feeling hungry, it's not the orange in Cheetos that creates Cheeto fingers that you're craving. It's actually the nutrients in a carrot. So switch up the different type of orange foods you eat. All right. So movement. Somebody tell me how should we be moving our bodies here? Royal, how should we be moving our bodies to be better?
Running.
Running is one. Let's see. Angelique, how should we be moving our bodies to feel better, to be better? Angelique? Stretching. How about you, Veronica? What should we be doing to move our bodies to be better? Veronica?
Just keep the posture upright.
Yeah, how about when we're not moving, making sure that we have good posture when we're sitting in our seats, getting up. I don't know if you guys say it again.
Take the stairs.
Yes, take the stairs. I do not use the elevator coming, and I park in the parking garage. I never use the elevator in our building, going or coming. And when we stay at the resorts and stuff like that, I try and figure out where the stairs are. Two reasons why. Number one, it's great for exercise. Number two, when you have an emergency situation in a building, if you ran out of your unfamiliar surrounding, which is that brand new hotel room you're staying in, could you, in the dark, without any light, find the exit? Or would you burn to death? So something to think about. Hey, a little side reward of taking the stairs when you stay at a resort, when you're on vacation. The tendency, by the way, jet lag. You know what's the best cure for jet lag? Somebody tell me.
Exercise.
Exercise. As soon as you get off the plane, whether it's in the evening, middle, whatever, go on a little run, 1 or 2 miles, go on the treadmill in the hotel. It actually realigns your body and helps you adjust to the time zone change much more quicker than getting sleep. Okay? So huge benefits, very, very little or no side negative benefits of getting your body moving. Again, you're telling your kids, you're leading a team, you're telling your loved ones, hey, you need to get more exercise. Are you role modeling that for them? Next one is melatonin. I couldn't figure out how to say sleep with an M word, so I'm just picking the chemical that actually exists in your body, or that your body needs to be, that's created by the pineal gland, that helps you with get good quality sleep. So what are the things that we should be doing to get good quality sleep here? Ray, what's a strategy to get good sleep? Ray's sleeping right now, so he's demonstrating.
The other Ray is here.
I wish I was sleeping. However, I'm studying for my exam. To answer your question, removing your cell phone from the room that you're sleeping in might be a good start, and turning off all electronics in that room.
Yeah, I did a whole podcast, did a whole huddle on this, so I'll run through my list, because a lot of times this is the #1 challenge that we Americans have, is not getting enough sleep. First of all, it's sleep quality as opposed to quantity. You can sleep for 10 hours and not get good sleep because you've got all the pinging and the binging with the Apple Watches and the phones, and if you have man-made light anywhere in your room. So here's the strategy. Go to sleep and get up at the same time 7 days a week. Don't do the stay up late, get up, sleep in on the weekends. That actually affects your ability of your body on a regular basis to generate melatonin. Make sure that your room is completely black. Even put duct tape over the little outlets that have the little lights, that tell you that the outlet's on. Make sure that you have a cool temperatured room. I highly recommend when you go to a massage or anybody that's working on you, they put pillows on your knees, because when you're laying on your back, your spine is out of camber. So if you're going to sleep on your back, put a pillow under your knees and make sure it's cool, it's quiet, cover your eyes. I take melatonin, and make sure that you get enough sleep. Now, I'm telling you guys this, and am I like 100% disciplined and I do this all the time? No, I went to bed last night at 1:30, still got up for my 6:15 workout, because I'm cleaning the room. My son's coming back from college. I haven't seen him in a year, and I'm super excited. Yeah, so I'm not telling you anything that I need to hear myself. What was the other thing that I didn't do? You see here. And the next one is mom. And the reason why I put mom is the relationship or connection you have with your mom important? Does everybody on this planet have one? Unless you were, I think everybody on this planet has one. Whereby medical technology hasn't gotten us to the point. Do you guys agree that you're not going to be created in some electronic, womb? So we all have a mom. So what is the quality of your relationships? Studies have shown that people who live alone have more health problems with high blood pressure, cognitive ability. They don't live as long. They don't eat as well. They don't take care of themselves as well. There was a study of Harvard graduates, and it's almost one of the longest human studies in mankind. It was done over a 70 to 80-year period. Now they're actually gathering information from their kids and their kids' kids on how these people's relationships were important in their lives over a long period of time. And as human beings, we require connection. So again, my question to you, we talk about having good relationships. You know, when we read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, are we just using those techniques and strategies with our clients? Or are we using them with our significant others, with our children? And when we talk about not being a negative Nelly and getting all hot and bothered and pissed off and telling people that we shouldn't do that, are we role modeling for our significant other, our children, for our team members, behavior that we want them to duplicate? So again, that's just something for you to think about, okay? So somebody tell me, what were the 5 areas? Brooks, what were the 5 areas?
Mindset, mouth, movement, melatonin, and good old mom.
Good old mom, which represents connections. Again, so those are what they are. Think about in your everyday life how you're working to be mindful of these 5 areas of your life. And I want 3 ahas, and I'm going to pick, let's see here, who have I not? I'm looking at Bernice. What was your big takeaway from today? Bernice. Bernice, what was your big takeaway from today?
Sorry, I was on mute. And it's one of the important things is about having relationship, maintaining your relationship not only on a personal level but also with your colleagues.
Yes, connections with other human beings are very important, and the quality of those connections and our relationships. Blaze, give us an aha for you. What was the big takeaway for you, Blaze?
The best remedy for jet lag is exercise.
Exercise. All right. So Blaze is he's actually going to be running around the airport. His luggage will still be on the carousel because he'll actually be running around the airport before he even gets his bags off of the baggage pickup area. All right, Ross Tanaka. Ross Tanaka, what's your big takeaway? And you're our last one for today.
Based on the question earlier, the do people do as you say or do as you do, my takeaway from that is actions speak louder than words.
Yes, and I will tell you this right now, especially our children. They are like human recording machines. They are watching everything that you do. And so it's critically important that we role model for our children so that they end up being the adults we want them to be. All right, so I love you guys and gals. Thank you very much. And I hope you guys have an awesome weekend and think about these 5 M's. Okay? All right, guys. You guys are awesome. Rock and roll.
Mahalo.
Thank you.
Love your family.
Thank you.
We got a meeting with Raylan Saleo.
Oh, I know.
Okay. So, get to the others.
Should I just leave this in live?
Wait a minute. I'm going in the basement.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. Elevator. Running man. All right, Robin, you can leave this in the video. People need to really see what it's like at Team Lally. We have fun. Thanks, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.
Try to steal it myself.
Deuces.
Keiko assigned.